Hello everyone, welcome to Dickson Java 101 tutorial 6. And today I'm going to share with you my coding essay. Will coding be the new second language? Let's start. When you hear the word coding, do you find it intimidating or do you feel like it's another language? Coding consists of letters, numbers, symbols, and fundamental principles of logic. It can be applied to anything in our daily lives. Within the past 5 years, mobile apps revolutionized our lives and changed the way we communicate, play games, and even date. Without coding, applications cannot be created. Coding has the potential to give the mind the power to go above and beyond potential expectations and provides opportunities to change the rules of game and to bring imagination into reality. In the 21st century, coding should be implemented into the school curriculum to prepare the next generation for a technological and computerized future, due to significant benefits in the area of developing logical skills like finding a decent job and prospering in the computer education science fields will be easier. Contrary to implementing coding as a core curriculum in the education system, coding will not benefit students who will not be in computer fields. Everyone comes from a different background and has different values, dreams, and ambitions. The editorial board in the Salt Lake Tribunal argues, computer languages are not timeless, which means the language is changing constantly and there is no guarantee what students learn in high school will be applicable in the future. In addition, the editorial board argues finding qualified teachers can be costly because coders are in high demand, and schools will be competing against many organizations. Currently, many high school students are being trained to use Microsoft Office such as Word, Excel, and PowerPoint. Mastering these skills are important at learning complex algorithms as are only applied to high-level programs. From memory, in my early elementary school, teachers mainly focus on the areas of learning to write, read, and basic social interactions. Coding might be too complex, since kids may not have fully grasped the English language and the fundamentals of mathematics. It is true computer language is constantly changing at a significant rate and coding might be complex. However, logical skills can be applied to any programming language and to our daily lives. Implementing coding as a core curriculum will get students to conceptualize things and to think in a logical manner, as it enhances problem-solving skills that can be applicable to all subject areas. Coding requires a high level of cognitive thinking that requires a lot of time experience before someone can think logically and contemplate outside the box. Greg Neville Manning is a Google's engineering director based in New York. He holds a PhD in computer science from Waikato University and portrays technology qualifications will become more and more valuable. Computer science, which is a niche subject today, will be a core skill tomorrow. This concept emphasizes companies are looking for people who have good analytical logical skills and problem solve with information data than those who just know facts. Many employers value individuals' problem solving skills more compared to the background of an individual's education. Coding will develop logical skills using algorithms. Computers can produce almost anything and provide a variety of information, but they cannot think for themselves. Therefore, as humans, our cognitive skills is what differentiates us from a computer and the key that makes the human mind valuable. Personally, I do believe an area of my improvement is being able to solve problems spontaneously in a variety of different situations. As a current student studying CLP 1000 Introduction to Computer Programming and Java 2800, these courses train me to think things in small pieces and connect the pieces in a logical and functional manner. To portray my problem-solving skills, I use 5 triangles and a circle to draw a star using codes. The 5 even triangles were coded to surround the circle to make a star. Thinking things as simple as that and breaking down into small pieces can stimulate logical skills. Another would be my final project. Currently, I am writing blackjack. I have to write all the possible winning and losing situations, deciding when the ace card will have a value of 1 or 11, as this enhances my critical thinking skills and determining all the possible outcomes. Coding will teach students how to program works. For example, using arrays to store and collect data, using loops to have a continuous realm, using switches to print certain outcomes, and using if and else statements to activate certain results. In addition to the valuable skills, coding is highly valued in the job market. Money makes the world go around, and many students want to get into a profession that is stable and can earn a lot of money. The Bureau of Labor Statistics projects 71% of all new jobs in STEM fields, science, technology, engineering, and mathematics during the next decade will be computer science. In the future, the majority of the jobs will be in computer science, and there will be a high demand for coders as more and more businesses will need to have an interactive website and a mobile app to promote their goods and services to enrich consumer experience. There will be jobs that do not even exist today. Laszlo Block is a senior vice president of people operations at Google, who is in charge of all the hiring, emphasizes prospective bosses today care less about what you know or where you learned it. The Google machine knows everything now. What value you can create with what you know. Today, hiring managers are recruiting those who can problem solve than those who just have degrees. Coding will give the individual the extra edge to differentiate themselves. There is an alarming trend in the future will be a computerized world, and the demand for coders will exceed supply. Within these past 5 years, there has been a significant growth in the app industry. For example, there has been expansion of the job market in Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Candy Crush, Google, Code.org, and many more. There is a significant development between the correlations of our daily accessories to applications. For example, our cell phones, computers, laptops, iPad, tablets, smartwatches, glasses, and even sports bracelets uses apps. There will be more tech job opportunities in the future, and it's important we start to prepare the current generation for the technological world. Many people know how to use an app, but do not know how to code. People who know how to code will have a significant advantage in the job market. Therefore, there needs to be awareness of implementing coding into schools to prepare the current generation to meet the job market that may not even exist today. In reference to the job market, a week ago, I was participating in Orlando Enterprise Startup Weekend, which is a 56-hour competition. The objective was to produce a proposal for a product or service. During the first day, I had the opportunity to hear 27 pitches, and 90% of the products or services needed coders to build apps and websites. I immediately knew coding was important, but didn't know there was such a high demand. There were roughly 56 people participating, and many were asking people if they knew C, Java, C++, and HTML. Currently, I'm a coder myself, but I'm a beginner coder. I know if I work hard and master the skills, coding will be extremely valuable in addition to my accounting and Chinese skills that will make me a strong candidate in the job market. My long-term goal is to become a computer programmer and accountant to build apps for small businesses to enhance the flow of information and the relationship between companies and clients. Coders are in high demand. Why isn't coding being taught in schools, and why isn't it considered as a core subject? Currently, many high schools do not offer coding as part of the education. Marie Desjardins is a computer science professor at the University of Maryland, Baltimore, emphasizes most kids don't have a chance to get introduced to computer science in high school. Many schools have tunnel vision that focuses on the traditional subjects of mathematics, science, history, music, English, and a second language. Computer classes are not considered as a mandatory subject, and it is considered as an elective course as a math or science credit. This reduces the need for coding classes. There is a misconception of playing with the computer devices as a sign of learning. Coding can be intimidating if people think coding is only for mathematicians. The saying is, you don't have to be a genius to read. There needs to be awareness of stressing the need for understanding how things work. This concept can also be backed up by Paul Corazon, a professor of computer science at School of Electric Engineering and Computer Science at Queen Mary University, who states, it's like a toddler being able to jump and land, but actually understanding when you jump, you land, that's learning the physics. Computer is the equivalent. Coding is essentially the computer language, and it should be taught to understand how apps work. Computers are everywhere. All businesses use computers, and why do we still not know how to code? Coding should be taught like a foreign language, being able to communicate with the computer. Coding is also universal, and the skills learned can be applied internationally as this opens up a variety of job opportunities. Therefore, coding needs to be taught in the education system. From my experience in high school, I felt like my courses were memorizing and regurgitating answers, and there was little critical thinking. I felt getting the right answer to earn an A was the norm. I believe coding needs to be implemented to challenge students' critical thinking and problem-solving skills. As a current programming student who had no prior programming experience, learning the logic and the skill was very challenging, especially during a compressed summer course. I know the hardware I put in today will benefit me in the long run. I believe coding needs to be taught at an early age so students can gain a good foundation of algorithms. Coding is essentially learning a new language, learning the alphabet, combining letters and symbols to compute an algorithm and writing in a logical manner, which takes a lot of time and practice to master those skills. Ultimately, in the 21st century, the education system needs to be updated and coding needs to be implemented into the school's curricula. Coding fundamentally enhances a person's thinking skills that can be applied in all subject areas. The idea of thinking things in a logical manner and being able to problem solve is a very valuable skill. Within the next decade, more and more jobs will be in the computer science field, and there will be increasing demand for coders to build websites and apps for businesses. Schools curricula are not up to date and are not preparing the current generation for the technological and computerized future. Therefore, we need to increase our awareness of implementing coding to be part of the core curriculum for economic growth and personal success. As a beginner program at Valencia College with no prior coding experience, it was extremely difficult for me to grasp the foundations of algorithms. If I had some prior coding experience, it would probably have changed my COP 1000 experience. Therefore, I would like to advocate for implementing coding in schools curricula. Let's start coding. So I would also like to share with you my works cited page. So here's all my references if you want to have a look at it. So I hope you guys like this tutorial and feel free to give me some feedback. Thanks for watching.